The Philippines in the 1980s was a country in turmoil. Ferdinand Marcos was president. He had been in power for over 20 years. Marcos ruled with an iron fist. His government was corrupt. Many people were poor. The people wanted change. They wanted democracy. They were tired of Marcos. Opposition leaders spoke out against Marcos. They demanded free elections. The people power revolution did not happen overnight. Years of oppression and injustice fueled the people's anger. Marcos's regime was notorious for human rights abuses. The assassination of Benigno Ninoy Aquino Jr., a prominent opposition leader in 1983, was a turning point. People blamed Marcos for Aquino's death. The economy was also in bad shape. Many Filipinos were struggling to make ends meet. In 1986, Ferdinand Marcos, the longtime ruler of the Philippines, called for a snap election. This was a critical moment in the country's history. He wanted to prove he still had the support of the people. Despite growing unrest and dissatisfaction with his regime, Marcos believed that a victory in this election would solidify his power. Corazon Aquino, the widow of the assassinated opposition leader Ninoy Aquino, decided to run against Marcos. Her candidacy galvanized the opposition and gave hope to many Filipinos who were yearning for change. The election, however, was marred by widespread fraud and violence. Reports of ballot tampering, voter intimidation, and other irregularities were rampant, casting doubt on the legitimacy of the results. Outraged by the blatant manipulation, the people took to the streets in protest. This marked the beginning of the People Power Revolution, a pivotal movement in Philippine history. Millions of Filipinos gathered on Epifanio de los Santos Avenue, or EDSA, in a show of unity and determination. The sheer number of people was a testament to the widespread desire for change. They formed a human barricade to protect rebel soldiers who had defected from Marcos. This act of solidarity was crucial in maintaining the peaceful nature of the protests. After 4 days of peaceful protests, the pressure became too much for Marcos. He fled the country, marking the end of his 2-decade rule and the beginning of a new era for the Philippines. Section 4. A triumph of democracy, local and global impact. The People Power Revolution was a monumental victory for democracy, not just in the Philippines, but around the world. It was a moment when ordinary citizens stood up against tyranny and oppression, showing that the collective will of the people can bring about significant change. It showed the world the power of peaceful protest. The images of millions of Filipinos united in their quest for freedom inspired countless others globally. The revolution was a testament to the strength of non-violent resistance. The Philippines became a symbol of hope for other countries struggling against dictatorships. The international community watched in awe as Filipinos demonstrated that change is possible without bloodshed. This movement sparked similar uprisings in other parts of the world. The revolution restored democracy in the Philippines. It marked the end of an era of authoritarian rule and the beginning of a new chapter in the nation's history. The joy and relief were palpable as Filipinos celebrated their newfound freedom. It paved the way for a new constitution and free elections. The establishment of democratic institutions and processes was a significant achievement, laying the foundation for a more just and equitable society. However, the country still faces challenges today. Despite the progress made, the Philippines continues to grapple with various issues that hinder its development. Corruption, poverty, and inequality persist. These enduring problems remind us that the fight for a truly democratic and prosperous society is ongoing. The spirit of people power lives on as Filipinos continue to strive for a better future. Section 5. Remembering people power, a legacy of freedom. The People Power Revolution is a reminder that ordinary people can make a difference. It was a time when the collective will of the people triumphed over tyranny and oppression. The streets of Edessa were filled with brave souls who stood up for their rights and demanded change. Their courage and unity became a beacon of hope for many nations around the world. It is a story of courage, hope, and the triumph of good over evil. The revolution showcased the power of non-violent resistance and the strength of a united populace. People from all walks of life, regardless of age, gender, or social status, came together to fight for a common cause. Their actions not only changed the course of Philippine history, but also inspired movements for democracy worldwide. It is a legacy that all Filipinos should cherish and protect. The spirit of people power lives on in the hearts of the Filipino people, reminding them of their strength and resilience. Celebrations after the revolution were filled with joy and a renewed sense of national pride. The waving of the Philippine flag symbolized the victory of the people and the dawn of a new era. Learn more about this turning point in Philippine history and other important historical events. The People Power Revolution is just one chapter in the rich tapestry of the Philippines' past. By studying these events, we gain a deeper understanding of the struggles and triumphs that have shaped the nation. Historical landmarks and archival footage serve as reminders of the journey the country has undertaken. Understanding the past helps us navigate the present and build a better future. By educating ourselves and future generations about these pivotal moments, we ensure that the lessons learned are not forgotten. History is not just a record of what has happened, but a guide for what can be achieved. Let us honor the legacy of people power by continuing to strive for a just and free society.